Hey, welcome to your Aquarius horoscopes for the week of November 5th through the 11th. Still no planets directly affecting Aquarius, as in they are fully in Aquarius, but we do still have Pluto and Saturn as little bookends on the cusps, bringing their influence into things a little bit. And focus is on self this week for Aquarius, which to me personally is extremely interesting because that's definitely a thing. It really is a thing. I mean, we're not just talking about self-care. We're not just talking about how we treat ourselves. We're not just talking about spoiling ourselves or Calgon, take me away. We're also talking about really understanding who we are. Some very hardcore self exploration, for lack of a better word. The word just went pew right out of my head, as it has a tendency to do. The closest influence, of course, is Saturn, because Saturn is 0 degrees Pisces, so it's right there on the cusp of both. It is definitely a stronger cusp. Saturn, there's a couple of different things going on with Saturn. The main one being Saturn square with Mars. And Mars is focused on long-term career goals. So we're talking about our own selves, our own responsibility in our career goals. This is interesting for me personally, because there have been a lot over the years of instances where I may have not put my career first, and it's not in the place that I would like it to be because I personally haven't put the time into it. Now, granted, I have come up with many different reasons why it was everybody else's fault and not mine, of course, just like everybody else. But more interestingly, lately, I've been spending more time really taking a look at myself and my own responsibility in this. I can blame other people until I'm blue in the face. That does not fix the problem. And that's a hard lesson to learn. And it's literally been beaten into my head, okay, the last couple of weeks, especially. Pluto's influence is a really good influence because Pluto is in two different grand sextiles. One with Mercury, which is focused on career, and Venus, which is focused on finances. The other with Uranus and Neptune, which are focused on the mind and the past. So in many ways, these energies are helping us to determine what we have done in the past that was helpful, what we did in the past that wasn't helpful, what we neglected to do that obviously wasn't helpful in many ways, in order to clear all that space for success. Because what happens is we get caught up in our heads. Aquarius problems, right? We get caught up in our heads. We start to overthink it. We start to get freaked out. We start to go, oh my God, look at all the things that I did to destroy myself, blah, 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 blah. None of which is actually getting anything done. This setup is saying, take your time, take a little bit of time, go through the process, identify the mistakes that you made and the places that you need to improve, eliminate the beating yourself up, get to work. Basically, very black and white, very plain and simple. And once you crack that code, so to speak, it does become a lot easier, because instead of coming up with excuses, instead of telling yourself why this isn't happening for the millionth time, you just do it. And if it doesn't work, you change it and you do something else. And if that doesn't work, you change that and you do something else. The whole point is to keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going until you can't go anymore. I think of all the signs of the zodiac, Aquarius gets in their own way the most. And the reason why they get in their own way the most, is because Aquarians can be so highly intellectual. And I'm not saying smart, although that's true. so highly intellectual that that brain, all that knowledge, all that everything just gets in the way. And before we know it, the whole day it's gone. That happens to me all the time. It's like I'm gonna spend 10 minutes here just mulling over, I'll spend 10 minutes beating myself up, and then hours later, nothing has gotten done. So I feel like this week's focus, with no planets, even though we have planets that are sort of influencing us, this week's focus is to really just get out of ourselves, get out of our own egos, get out of our own heads, get out of our own bullshit, so to speak, put it all aside and just do what we need to do and see what happens. And if it works, great, keep doing that. If not, try something different. And the other thing about that trips me up a lot, I don't know if the rest of you Aquarians go through this also, but Aquarians love to be unique, not like everybody else. And one of the biggest things that trips me up is when I start doing something and everybody else jumps on that bandwagon and starts doing it, and I have to go, oh my God, I can't possibly follow the crowd now, I have to stop doing this. Stop. You're making it so much more difficult for yourself than you need to be. And yes, I'm speaking to myself as well as to my fellow Aquarians out there. We complicate things so much more than they need to be complicated. And for what? To waste time. That's all we're doing it for, is to waste time. This week is all about managing that time wisely, for you to take care of you, for your success, for all the responsibilities that you have, but also incorporating your own self-care and your own time to be able to release all of that as well. You're only as successful as you choose to be. And that pretty much sums it all up. And all the time that you may have wasted doesn't matter, as long as you get off that stupid horse that you're on and get on a horse that's actually going somewhere. You don't want to be on the one that's in front of the grocery store that just kind of rocks back and forth and does nothing. You want a real horse that's going to take you into the sunset, right? So get off that horse that's not doing anything and get on the one that is. It's entirely up to you. And it would just be a shame to waste all that brilliance on nothing. Think about it that way. That's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider leaving a tip or donation on my coffee link. It's there in the description. You can also book time with me through that link as well. I'm setting up a list of services right now so that you can do that. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoy doing this every single week. I hope you guys enjoy listening as much as I enjoy doing it. I will see you guys next week, and in the meantime, you guys make it happen. Let's do it. Let's make a pact right now, Aquarians all across the world. We're just going to do it. We're going to make it happen this week and see where it goes. And at the end of the week, we'll come together and celebrate and see just how far we got. I'll see you guys next week. You guys remember who you are and make it a great week.